Top free agents interested in WWE. Could they be going to AEW? Where are they going to go? I know you guys love free agency news. We're talking about it in this video, as well as a ton of other stories. I'll put the timestamps in the description down below. Ric Flair was talking about something very interesting, and this was, in fact, the WWE Housewives of Wrestling. And this is really interesting. He was talking about it on ad-free shows, and he mentioned that Fox and Netflix were possibly thinking about doing something with this show. It's something that's being worked on. He mentioned his wife, Wendy. He mentioned Jake Hager and his wife, also Kurt Angle and his wife, and then Randy Orton and his wife. And of course, this is a very interesting thing because I actually have said several times that reality shows for pro wrestling is a really good thing. But I do find it even more intriguing that there would be somebody from AEW involved in this show because obviously Ric Flair has ties to WWE, Orton, Kurt Angle all have ties to WWE. Jake Hager is obviously tied to AEW. Fox and Netflix, who's the production agency? Obviously, Ric Flair didn't share too many details about this, but I'm going to assume if Jake Hager and his wife are somewhat involved in the show, more than likely this is not something that WWE is producing. Even though it really does sound like it, it could very well be a independent project from a different production team who is then possibly trying to get it on Fox or Netflix. I like the idea of Netflix or Fox getting involved with WWE business. Obviously, Fox already has the rights to SmackDown. Netflix has been very interested in pro wrestling, at least that's what the reports are saying. So the idea that a Housewives of Wrestling reality TV show, it actually could be a really good thing for pro wrestling fans. I think the Bella stuff has always been good. Total Divas was good. I think Roads to the Top was great. I think the idea that people who aren't wrestling fans can watch these shows and then tune into wrestling right afterward, I think that is a massive W. Guys, I want to talk to you about Nick Aldis. Definitely not the first time that we've talked about Nick Aldis. Probably won't be the last time. But now on ad-free shows, he actually spoke about this, and he talked about being a free agent and more specifically kind of what's going on. So if you guys didn't know, Aldis left the NWA at the end of 2022, and obviously there was a lot of drama associated with it. Then he became a free agent, and then he said something very interesting. He said, I just want to be free and clear of any commitments for a minute and then see what happens. I've had a couple of different phone calls with a couple of different people and places. What if we did this, maybe that? For now, that's what I want it to be. He also said that he is taking bookings independently. Obviously, we have seen that he's gone to Canada, he's going to Australia, he's going to the UK. To him, this is a really good scenario. He's a small business owner. He likes the idea of doing this independent thing without ties to anybody else. But what is really, really, really interesting is that he continues to maintain confidence. And more specifically, he says that he's waiting for the right option, not necessarily the first one. So who has reached out to Nick Aldis? What is the situation here? Obviously, we've heard reports of WWE signing Nick Aldis. We've heard reports of Nick Aldis going to AEW. We've even heard reports of Nick Aldis going to Impact Wrestling. And this is where I get a little bit more frustrated with the reporting here because 3 different companies possibly signing Nick Aldis. He hasn't shown up to any of them. It's just a little bit confusing. I think what is best for Nick Aldis is whatever, obviously, he wants to do. But from a fan perspective, I would like to see him in NXT. I would like to see him do a short, brief run with WWE NXT, but also have the opportunity to coach people in NXT afterwards. I like Nick Aldis. I think he's great. I don't know where his career goals are at this stage of the game. I think even AEW, for him to do a short little brief run or becoming a coach, it could be really beneficial. I think this guy is a true veteran in the sense that he is going to be very helpful to anybody behind the scenes. And I think that's where NWA kind of messed up. The whole thing that went down with them, I'm surprised that there wasn't more being done to fix that situation. And it's unfortunate because NWA is losing its popularity and didn't really have much to begin with after being rebooted. But even when people are giving NWA chances, you can tell that they're really missing that big star. And obviously the booking with Matt Cardona and Tyrus, and it's just caused a lot of people drifting away from it. And obviously, Nick Aldis was a really big part of NWA's initial success when it got rebooted. So yeah, AEW, WWE, Impact, I think, have him wrestle for a little bit, sure. If he wants to wrestle for years and years and years too, okay, do whatever you want. But I think the best thing would be is whoever he signs with or whatever company brings him in, hopefully there is a plan to utilize his intelligence after the fact. And I think that's the major point that I would like to make. Also, keep in mind, Mickey James is currently in Impact Wrestling. Maybe his situation ties in with her too. Maybe Mickey James goes somewhere else and he joins her. You know, it's a very, very complicated situation. But right now he's doing the indie thing. I'm sure he's got offers. He's taking these phone calls, like he said. So we'll see what happens. And guys, for our final story of today, we are talking about Kota Ibushi. Yes, this is not a joke. Honestly, I thought maybe some people would think this is a joke, but it's not. Kota Ibushi does confirm interest in WWE, and obviously, this is a really crazy thing that I'm talking about, honestly. I'm going to throw this image right up on the screen. Kota Ibushi just spoke with Kota Ibushi. He has high interest in AEW, but he said that he would not rule out WWE currently. Of course, I'm interested in it. I'm good at producing players and I've created stars. So I don't think there's anyone who can control me, even in that frame. I live so freely. The idea that Kota Ibushi coming to WWE is something I don't want people to get too attached to. But I think everybody in the internet wrestling community has pretty much thought, hey, Kota going to WWE is not going to happen. And I think it really depends on who's running the WWE. I think WWE bringing in Kota Ibushi would be a very big thing for the hardcore audience. Whatever is left of this casual audience, I don't know what they would think. I don't know how they would react. But I think Kota Ibushi, regardless of where he goes, regardless of where he works, I think he's just a hell of a talent. I said it before. I think he would fit better in AEW. I still believe that. I think Kota Ibushi going to AEW would be freaking massive for them. They need a top babyface in the company. Kota could definitely be that guy. But if Kota Ibushi were to go to WWE, I would not be mad about that either. Under Vince McMahon, absolutely the F not. But that's just my opinion. I think Tony Khan or Triple H would do great things with him. And it's just interesting to see that he would even have interest in WWE, let alone publicly having it being discussed is pretty awesome. It's not like we haven't seen him in WWE before. I think everybody kind of remembers the Cruiserweight Classic, but WWE couldn't get that deal closed, and maybe that's all for the best. So, hey, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I see a lot of you guys are talking and interacting in the comments. I love it. I'll try my best to respond. Just a quick reminder, I am an Amazon influencer, so if you guys are interested in getting WWE 2K23 or AEW Fight Forever, if you guys use the link in the description down below, as an influencer, it directly supports me. But I appreciate everybody watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.